In today's world, a lot of people find themselves concerned about the things they can't control and not creating a mindset that actually allows them to take control of the things they can. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is our circle of concern and what is our circle of influence, and how a lot of people have a reactive mindset to the circumstances and situations they're in, and how changing that and flipping it to a proactive mindset can actually make a change on the things you can actually influence, rather than being concerned and worrying about the things you can't. We'll talk about what it means to have a reactive mindset, what are examples of a reactive mindset, and how to stop that chain of actually thinking about the things that aren't even conducive to forward progression compared to actual behaviors that we can implement that can actually take control of our lives. So what is the circle of concern, and why is this something that I'm speaking to you about? Well, our circle of concern are the things that we can't control. Opinions of us, the weather, politics, certain circumstances and situations we're in, things we're born with, things that affect us in many different ways. And usually the reaction that we have to these circumstances isn't one that's actually conducive or proactive to actually helping our lives. A lot of the time when we're stuck in traffic, our mindset is, I'm concerned that I'm not going to get to my destination quick enough, and then I get frustrated because I'm in traffic. And while I'm in traffic, I think about that, oh, what time am I going to get there, And when we think about it, worrying about what time we're going to get there, being frustrated at the cars around us or the person that's going too slow, that's not actually going to change our situation. And that's a reactive mindset. And so there's many situations where we can have a reactive mindset. When, let's just say we get rejected by a girl and we put it on them. Our reactive mindset is that they didn't see what was in me, or that they were the issue. And by having this reactive mindset to the concerns and circumstances and situations we're in, we're not building any kind of skills to actually maybe help ourselves in the future. And that's why in this video we're going to talk about how we can change to a proactive mindset that allows us to take ownership of the circumstances and situations we're in and actually try and influence what we can, instead of being concerned about what we can't change. We can't change that we were rejected. We can't change that we were stuck in traffic. We can't change that we were born a certain way. We can't change the weather. And so, to be concerned about the fact that it's raining and we're about to go to a festival and we're so bummed about the fact that it's raining. But by being concerned about that, we're not making any positive change to our mindset, to the way our attitudes about the situation. And a reactive people, they worry and complain about the things and circumstances that are out of their control. Outside forces affect their performance, their mood, and they just don't take ownership and action of the things that they control, and there are multiple reasons for this. Proactive people understand that their decisions determine their life, not their conditions. Proactive people don't spend time and energy on their concerns that are without their control. Proactive people make sure to take action to improve their circle of influence so that they can actually take control of that circle of concern with actual actions and behaviors and attitudes. Taking control within that circle of influence, they can positively affect their circle of concern. For example, I cannot change that it is raining, but I can proactively decide to tackle that concern by changing my circle of influence, which is bringing an umbrella. And that's the proactive mindset that we need to start fostering. So I want you to personally think about, what are some things that you've thought about recently that you probably haven't had the best mindset reaction to. It's a reactive mindset. Let's just say you burnt the chicken when you're cooking or whatever. And instead of thinking, well, it's already burnt, I can't unburn it, that by getting pissed off at the situation probably isn't going to help your mood. It's probably not going to bring you any chicken any quicker. And therefore, it is those situations that we need to then switch to, well, what is it that I can do to affect this concern that I have? How can I influence the situation that I'm in to then be able to make improvements in my life? And this is hard. admittedly, like it's something that I've been working on over these past couple of weeks, and it's a slow, gradual process of learning this, and it's hard. I almost feel like I need to like put a tape around my finger, so that I can constantly be aware of having this mindset. But for example, when I was driving, I needed to get somewhere, and I was in a bit of a rush, and then I stopped for a second and I thought about the situation of, okay, I'm getting frustrated now with the cars around me, with how late I am. That's the reactive mindset. What would a proactive mindset do? Well, a proactive mindset would have realized that by me getting pissed off with the situation, I wasn't gonna put myself in a state of calmness. What could I actually do in this situation now that may potentially help my situation, and which is my circle of influence? I could take a different route. So maybe I wouldn't go the route that I normally go. And then even just having that mindset changed allowed me to think more critically. Because I was then like, well, maybe if I take a different route, I could save some time. But that also has its own risks. I don't usually take a different route. I don't know whether this route would actually be faster. And so it's not just our circle of influence that having a proactive mindset can actually foster, and actually help our lives, but also just critical thinking in general. What is actually going to happen when we make these different mindset changes? So, the moral of this story, and the reason why I'm sharing it, is because it's something that's actually helped me in the past couple of weeks since learning it. It's something that I think is something we should just continually try and improve in our lives, in terms of what is our initial reaction to our situation, what is it that having this initial reaction is actually going to help with, and what would be a better way of actually influencing this situation, circumstance we're in. Another example would be, you've just gotten fired from a job, and your reactive mindset is, how dare my boss do that? How am I going to survive? Oh my God, I only have X amount of money in my bank account. These are all the reactive reactions to the situation that has just happened. And granted, it's really hard to just not think about these things. We're humans, we have emotional reactions to our situations, but we need to kind of have a higher order thinking about what it is that's actually going to help us move forward in life. And so it is exactly in that situation that we go, fuck, I was fired. I can't change that. All right, I need to make money. Okay, so now I need to start looking for that next job. And so already we've actually put on our thinking brain rather than our fight or flight brain to the situation we're in. That's what separates us from animals, is that we're able to actually have a cognitive process that is a barrier in between our emotions and our survival instincts. Another example would be, you've just snapped your arm. Your arm's fucked. It's hanging a different way. And obviously, in that situation, we're really concerned about the situation. Again, we can't control the fact that our arm was snapped. All we can do is think proactively to how we can influence the situation. All right, I need to get to a hospital. All right, I need a phone. All right, I have a phone on me. I can't reach it. It's in my pocket. All right, I need to get someone else to help me. And so therefore, we've already started this chain of proactive decision making. And this is what people are taught as soldiers, paramedics, surgeons. When a surgeon is in an operating theater and they're working on someone and something goes wrong, it's not a time to be reactive and go, oh my God, what do I do? No, it's okay, this has just happened. How can we take full on ownership of this situation, take action in terms of actually creating a behavior that would help the situation? All right, I just severed an artery. All right, quickly, we need to get the right tools in order to to stitch, to burn. You know how they like burn stuff together so that way it can stop. Anyway, you know what I mean. And yeah, so if you're interested by like what is the circle of concern and what is the circle of influence, this is not something that I created. This is something created by someone called Stephen Covey, who created the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read this personally and I started adopting it into my life, and it's still something I'm trying to adopt. It's still something I'm trying to work on. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's something that's valuable when we want to try and actually improve our lives.